I'm Chef Brian Rast. Today I will be taking y'all to a kitchen in Italy to learn how to cook Italian meatballs with spaghetti or just served by itself for an appetizer. But before we go to Italy, let me give you a little bit of background about Italian culture and their history. Italy is located in South Central Europe on a peninsula. It has a population of 59 million, and Italy's geographic is rugged and it doesn't have many direct roads, so their cities have to become more self-sufficient and independent. The capital of Italy is Rome. Their GDP is climbing to 35,000 in US dollars, and they were the worst economy in Europe before World War II and has began to grow after World War II. So buckle up your seatbelts and let's go to Italy. Come on. Hello and welcome to Italy. So I will be going over the ingredients that you'll need to make your spaghetti and meatballs the Italian way. So here I have a half pound of beef, which is on the right, and a half pound of pork, which is on the left. I have chopped plum tomatoes, a half a cup of bread without the crust, olive oil, oregano, parmesan, milk, kosher salt, parsley, eggs, and of course the pasta. Let's get to it. First we will start by dumping the tomatoes into the blender to make the sauce. Italy is the second largest producer of tomatoes other than the United States, and they produce about 4 million tons annually. So now let's get this going. So now for step number 2, we will put a teaspoon of milk onto the bread and let it soak. Now once that's soaking for about 2 to 3 minutes, you'll take your egg and all you need is one, and you will beat that. Okay. Now we will stir the egg, and we can drop the egg into our meats. This is what gives the meatball, it's what allows the meatball to stick together, is the egg and the bread. So now we're going to take our bread, put them in there, and our parsley will go in there. Then you do the oregano, the Parmesan cheese, and now you will just mash up and make them into little meatballs. Mash up, you want to get everything together, everything mashed up together. Now that we have all of our meat stirred up, you want to make your meatballs from about 1 to 2 inches. This one's a little bit on the bigger side. I like to make them a little bit bigger. They taste better. Now, once we have all of our meatballs rolled up, we're going to start the cooking process. And the cooking process should only take about, it says about 8 to 10 minutes. And during that time, I will talk to y'all about the agricultural process in Italy. So while it gets done cooking, I'm going to tell you guys a little about Italy's agriculture. They were pretty much hurting in agriculture and the economy, pretty much everything before World War II. And then after World War II, they enacted a Land Reform Act in 1950. And before this act, many agricultural workers had few rights, were treated poorly. And the majority of the cultivated land was owned by just a few noblemen. After the act, it redistributed the land, and so now today many of the farms are owned by families and they're managed by families because the cities have to be self-sufficient and independent. Since World War II, Italy has maintained a negative trade balance due to the demand. They're not able to fill the food demand that they have at home. One of their major exports is rice and hard wheat. Hard wheat is what makes the pasta, as we have right here, and it comes from South Italy. So, and since I made the meatballs, I will talk to you a little bit about the cattle and the pork, and since we had beef, which they call red meat, and pork to make the meatballs. So, cattle, they have two different types. They produce two different types of meat called red meat and veal. Red meat is 85% of the market share, and they don't let them graze. They feed them with corn, and they have had many troubles with getting in trouble with and getting penalized for the way they treat the cattle, and for the environment. As far as the pork goes, the pork is on an uprising and it continues to grow. It's on a positive trend due to heavy pig production, which is how they make cured ham. Well, I can smell the meatballs and it sounds like they're done. So the way I like to eat my Italian meatball is with a little bit of pasta. And I'll go grab 2 meatballs. And then we will drizzle our tomato sauce on top, just like that. And there's your finished product. I hope you all enjoyed the lesson today, and I hope you make it back at home. Thank you.